웃음은 뚫어지게 쳐다보다 갑자기 온 생각 내가 뭘 해도 너처럼 될 순 있을까 또다시 열등감에 빠져 마음은 점점 오염되어가 빠르게 식어가 알고 있어 나의 주인공 그저 운명의 트라이뿐 그저 네가 완벽해 보였어 아무 이유 없이 널 미워했어 미안해 but 어쩔 수 없었어 사실 지금도 애써 버티고 있어 I'm a sub-character 우리는 비슷해 부러워도 어찌 그리 빛나는지 모두 날 좋아해 모두의 인정받고 행복해 보여 I'm a sub-character just another loser 뜬감을 없던 Tell me 내가 나쁜 맘일까 I wanna be you 언젠가부터 내 자신이 점점 싫어져만 갔어 문득 든 생각이 곧 누구 탓이지 아마도 너일 거야 하나도 난 잘못 없어 그저 내가 일어나라서 그랬어 어떤 기분이 네 주인공 혹시 너도 아프고 있니 이젠 난 아예 다 모르겠어 복잡하게 서로 얽혀져 있어 미안해 미워하기만 했어 그래도 어려워 이 마음을 지우는 건 I'm a sub-character 딱히 중요해 말해줘 넌 네 기분 알고 있니 알아 난 추해 패배자의 원뜻 결말이 정해져 있는 I'm a sub-character just another loser 어디로 가야 할까 Tell me 내 이야기는 결국 버려지는 걸까 아무도 아무 말도 하지 않아도 자꾸만 혼자 너와 날 비교해 불가능한 나쁘게 생각한 뒤 안도의 한숨을 내쉬어 하나도 진짜 별로지 나 몇 번이고 고치려 해도 안 되더라 I'm a sub-character 우리는 비슷해 부러워 넌 어찌 그리 빛나는지 모두 널 좋아해 모두의 인정받고 행복해 보여 I'm a sub-character just another loser 열등감을 얻은 Tell me 내가 나쁜 맘일까 I wanna be you 내 이야기는 결국 I'm a sub-character 전혀 중요해 말해줘 누군가 아니라고 알아 더 이상 의미 없단 걸 정해져 있었어 I don't care 그래도 패배자여도 매달릴 순 있잖아 Help me 내 손을 잡아줘 난 주인공이니까
Good evening and welcome back to the Dwarven Fortress of Esmulrakust, where I am a good deal less energetic than the introduction song might have implied, because I cycled somewhat over 100 miles yesterday and am thus quite vague. So things will probably go fairly slowly around here tonight. Last time we had, I think, already disposed of the elven ambush and were slightly worried that something would come along in the spring. Nothing has come along yet and we're halfway through spring now. But we have tidied up this catapult so it will probably be less fatal to its operators now. It's only killed one person, to be fair. I mean, one person on the wrong side of it, right side of it, whatever. We've got steel production going again. Slightly to my surprise, we do actually have a really quite decent stock of steel already. We have buried many of the dead, though I did happen to spot while wandering this body out here that surely ought to have been buried, so I'm going to investigate why. And I've noticed that we're running out of soap. So I think one thing I might need to do is to... There's another dead body. Is that one at least marked for disposal? No, it isn't. Let's fix that. That one's easy. So I think we basically don't have an explicit soap production pipeline. We buy lye, and then we can just turn, and we automatically make tallow. And we should probably make, I mean, I presume that high value animals make high value soap. I can answer that question, Simon, but it's probably not on topic for the stream. Yes, I assume that high value tallow makes high value soap, and that dwarves like washing in high value soap, and therefore we should attempt to make our soap not out of yak tallow, possibly not even out of leopard tallow, but out of tiger tallow. So let's leave the only tallow available to be tiger by forbidding all other tallow. Then find the soap maker's workshop, which I'm sure is around here somewhere. I did build one at some point, really. We've made some soap. Oh, there it is. Right, good. Let's just make 10 soap from tallow and see if that works properly. I can't remember. I think we've got some lye. So what's going on there? That is a mangled skeleton of someone with a dwarven name, a dwarf with a dwarven name, who is thus and is not shown as an @ sign. So they are surely actually a citizen. And so if we had a spare tomb, they would surely be being put in it. And I thought we had some spare tombs, so I'm slightly confused. Now, the way you want to find out about spare tombs, Ben, is not by carefully exploring every tomb. It's by going to this list and going, look, there's a tomb. It's that one there. Oh. It's allegedly unassigned, but it appears to have someone's body in it. Like, that's just confusing. Okay, have we got any other unassigned tombs? Because I feel that someone might consider that one a bit occupied, despite its being technically unassigned. Yes. No, that's that one. Try again, Harris. We've certainly got a decent quantity of spare bedrooms. That one, which I also set up quite recently, that one is genuinely empty. Okay, well maybe the dwarves just haven't worked out that they need to do it yet. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. I mean, also I noticed there's a bunch of crossbow bolts out here. They are copper though. Maybe I don't... I think actually we don't bother loading... Do we? How is this stockpile set up? Right, yes, that one only takes iron and steel bolts, which is why the copper bolts are being left lying around. Right, that's fine. Oh, well, that various dead skeletons and such like in the outdoors should be disposed of just for tidiness. So yes, one problem we had, and I still don't really have a good plan for this, was that the elves, like, because they turn up as an ambush and don't give you any warning the way that goblins do, you do rather have to, you do kind of end up scrambling to get people under cover. And so one of the slightly surprising things we found is that the elves are actually one of the more dangerous enemies. So I think, yes, Dizzy says you need watchtowers, which might be right. Yes, that's certainly one of the possibilities, or possibly just like chaining up dogs around the place. I think the elves mostly arrive from the north. And yes, the problem is that they're not very open about it.
Well, they're just role-playing hobbits. It's fine.
I don't think. I don't. Yeah, I don't. I don't know quite how. I suppose what we. There's another dead animal we can dispose of. I mean, we could probably butcher the skeleton, but it's not very valuable. Oh, and there's a dead human there. That can go. So yes. So I don't know quite what the detection range will be if we like try to position dwarves in little watchtowers around the edge or whatever. I mean, I do, in a sense, I like the idea of watchtowers because one thing I'm kind of worried about is that, I mean, fairly generally, is that if we have that putting our outdoor dwarves in a position to defend themselves just means they'll get into bigger and bigger fights with the elves, and what we really want is for them not to get into fights with the elves.
And also, is there not a risk with watchtowers that they get stranded and attacked by the incoming whatnots?
Yes. So yes, Verity suggests that there's a danger with watchtowers that the elves in them get attacked and get stuck there with nothing to eat or drink. And I mean, we can provide the watchtowers with food. This almost makes it sound like the watchtowers and the bolt holes that I'm kind of also considering as an alternative, as in we may not be able to detect them, but if we can get away fast enough, that might be fine. Would, in a sense, have similar structures. We could have a lot of underground tunnels connecting up the watchtowers and then maybe connecting back to the main fortress, but I'm a bit reluctant to do that because it provides ways into the main fortress.
I was going to say that your emergency escape route then becomes the
yes,
the back way in that becomes the point of attack.
But we could have them drop into the Barbican, of course. Yes, or indeed actually outside the fortress. Because I think we generally detected them at a reasonable distance. So possibly, if we had some kind of a tower that was arranged to be unclimbable. I mean, we could start with something fairly simple. That's like a smallish tower that can be accessed from outside, and we could see how useful that was for detecting anyone and how sturdy it was. We could even stick a bolt thrower at the top of it if we were feeling optimistic. We could we could stick a catapult at the top of it and put it over here where we've got all these spare rocks. That's probably not sensible. And then, like, we could see what can be detected. I'm not actually quite sure whether it's worth going. I mean, while towers obviously feel right, I don't know if it's actually worth having anything more than a bunker. Though bunkers have the disadvantage they might be a bit too easy to knock down. As in, I don't think the dwarves gain any ability to see further by being higher up, except possibly insofar as it might allow them to see onto higher Z levels. So like down here, maybe just a ground level bunker would actually be enough. And we could even have an underground bit of it as well that's like got food supplies and stuff. The thing is that we have rather different defensive requirements against goblins and against elves, which is kind of awkward. And then we need to like schedule people to be in the watchtowers, which is kind of awkward. Though I suppose if we just have a bolt thrower there, then people will. We can arrange that. We can just mark it as to always have someone staffing it and possibly firing it, and just see what happens. Yes. Okay, yes, I think Dizzyat has given me an idea there. Namely that if we think of ourselves as having two kinds of attack, we have the civilized goblin siege and the uncivilized elven ambush, and rather bizarrely the undead come on the civilized side. Then in the civilized case, we can have everyone leave the watchtowers, probably via some underground tunnels, back to near the main entrance, which can stay open for long enough to let them in. And actually, to be fair, the main entrance to the fortress can be left open for the most part. Like it's very well guarded. And then if the elves turn up, then we don't need to worry about them trying to knock down the bunkers, because they won't. They don't have the technology to do that. Right. So I think as kind of an experiment, we should build an bunker and see how well it works. I think the suggestion of having it turn up at the bottom of the moat is not wholly silly, not least because that's one of the lowest parts of the outside of the fortress. So we could just extend this staircase downwards a little further. And probably stick a locked hatch cover over the top of it to be on the safe side. And then we do like a great big diagonal tunnel up to somewhere around here, where we construct a small bunker shaped object. That's the closest we can get to the edge, if we want to. But on the other hand, it may be... no, let's do it. Let's do it a bit further in. I'm kind of going... I don't know how far the dwarves can see, is the thing. And I suspect it depends on their observer skill. So let's go there, because we're still... Actually, maybe we should... Let's say around here, because that way we... no, but then we probably can't see up the hill. I don't know. I don't know where to put it. I'll put it here. No, that tree will be in the way. Let's go for a long way from the trees there. are you doing? You seem to have some confusion here. Hang on, that's nowhere near big enough if we want to put... I want to be at least able to put a bolt thrower in here. I mean, we can always turn it off. That means we do actually need quite a lot of space if we want to also be able to get all the way around it. It might mean I'm not going to have enough blocks to do it all at once, and we'll need to make more blocks, which is fine. So we'll build those bits.
What's causing the noise of rattling glass or footprint happening now?
Meanwhile, we want to rebuild these with iron reinforcement now that we have iron. We'll allow time to pass again, at least briefly. What's going on with this person who's this corpse out in the wilds? I mean, I suppose it's technically possible that no one knows about them. We appear to have what here is something here that's just peasant left foot, which I think indicates an immigrant who didn't manage to stay long enough for anyone to remember their name. Or I think strictly an immigrant who didn't stay long enough to become a historical figure. Right, so that will build that wall. Just observing this enormous quantity of puppies rushing out of the front gate. Still not being dealt with. Is there another object there that we could just have disposed of to make sure that someone goes out and looks at this? Yeah, let's just randomly dump their old clothes and check that the dwarves have like noticed that this person's dead. We're getting lots of muskmelons. Oh, I'm slightly scared. There's a drink none up there. That's not the correct number of drink. Not at all the correct number of drink. Why do we not have any drink? Presume because the necessary ingredients are not available. Oops, that's a loom, that's no good. I mean, that's meant to be, yes, triggered whenever we have any fruit, and it is currently active. We've got 15 tons of strawberries. Can we not brew strawberries? And I have this vague feeling that it might turn out, no, we can't. You have to brew those out of strawberry plants. Oh, is that where we've gone wrong? No, we've got plenty of strawberry plants as well.
You have yeast, or does yeast not exist?
No, yeast is not a thing. Do we just lack anyone who's got brewing enabled? Have I accidentally killed all my brewers? But I think in that case, I mean, we do only have one person scheduled for brewing. And they're the mayor. Oh, yes, right. What I have not been being good about guild halls. I think I already have an outstanding guild hall petition and I've forgotten about it. I'm just going, what should I do? How should I organise this in a way that doesn't end up being a mess? I mean, one approach, I suppose, is I just decline it. I say we don't need a farmers guild hall. Sod it, I'm going to do that rather than trying to organise myself. They still want it. They've just come back and petitioned me again. That's unhelpful. I was hoping they would be willing to take no for an answer. Yes, we currently need to make more blocks before we can finish that. Which of course is also a nuisance as far as... Oh, right, that's ended up flagged as a church block wall rather than a granite block wall, presumably because of what order I selected the blocks in. I should select the granite last if I want it to look tough. Dear, one of our children is depressed. Why are you depressed, Kossoth? I mean, you don't feel very much whenever you see the dead people lying around, but You mostly seem like you ought not to be terribly unhappy. Oh yes, how are we off tables? Should probably install more chairs and tables in the dining room if we've got some. That will help a little bit. So are we now... Oh right, are we not making rock blocks because we've got too much porcelain? Right. Let's make the dining room even better then. I mean, I suppose we could try to make people's bedrooms better first, but... The dining room is easier. Yes, we have been trying to pave people's bedrooms with porcelain, haven't we? Right, that will consume some of the blocks, and then maybe the block production will start again. And the shortage of blocks is part of why I'm a bit... I mean, I suppose we can dig out space for this. There go the blocks. Dig out some space for this Guildhall, but I'd prefer to wall it off from some space we've already dug out, like the existing temple. Though I suppose we could consider that the right thing to do is to put guild halls like somewhere near the dining hall. We could have them extend off to the south or something. And make them... I would say make them fairly small, but we had a small guild hall in the last fortress, and it ended up utterly crowded most of the time. So I'm kind of a bit reluctant to make them risk making them too small. But like we could totally carve off rooms down here, and I think that's kind of better than whatever I'm trying to do with the temple. The temple is kind of annoying me today for some reason. So we could like make a guild hall like that. I think unlike, I mean, it obviously doesn't really need to connect to that corridor. What we could do is something like that, and then that could also be the door onto the corridor. And let's make some space for a second one. It's not the same size as the one you just drew, Ben. Even if we don't need it right now, though, I think we do, and I just need to work out what I actually want in that respect. It looks like we've made some tiger soap, so that's nice. And like it's reasonably valuable. Not sure if I suspect the other soap is probably all in the hospital anyway. Right, some fighting going on down in the caverns, but that's to be expected. So a lot more bedrooms are now have tiled floors. But still, the amount of rock blocks is less than 25. Is not firing. I mean, obviously we have a lot of blocks, just that they're almost all in use. And I'm pretty sure it doesn't count blocks that have been turned into constructions, because that would be silly. Let's find out what the threshold appears to be. So if I edit this, so if I set it to 100, it's fine. If I set it to 25, it's not. So it's around 45 we currently have, it thinks. So what's going on there then? So, all right, so that number there, 45, does appear to be the correct number. That looks like we just still have loads of porcelain bricks available. Or no, of course, that will include ones that are in use. Oh, this is counting the ones locked away up in the up here, because I accidentally ended up with zillions of them in bins up there. So if we allow ourselves to use that door, then we can accomplish a lot more and hopefully use up some of those blocks which don't belong up there. Oops, no. I am awake, really. Right. So that will at least complete a wall around the bunker. We'll then need a temporary ramp. So that we can install a roof. think we should probably make some more furniture as well, chairs and tables specifically, because we've just used up most of them in improving the dining room a bit. And obviously it takes a little while to get your furniture adequately decorated for this fortress. Wow, that's quite a valuable throne. Has an image of the dwarf Endok shield ship and an image of Endok shield ship the dwarf and a cave dragon in sapphire. In addition to an exceptionally designed image of dwarves in Draltha bone and an image of Asmael beast ink of the dwarf and dwarves in clear diamond. Yes, anyway, we should make more stone furniture. Simply so that it can be decorated for a bit. Right. All right, we do seem to be making drink again now, possibly because we now actually have someone who's willing to do the job. Albeit the people are immediately turning up and drinking the stuff, but could be worse. How much porcelain have we got left now that I've gone and used it all up for reasons that turned out not to be really relevant? Got some. Then let's install a door there. Oh, excuse me. That was a slightly surprising sneeze. I'm quite easily surprised today, to be fair, but oh. Let me apologise for the noise. Maybe I should add a limiter to my audio pipeline somewhere. Right. Yes, what are we doing? Oh yes, we're yes, good, we have a masterpiece shale table. We are adding some floor in this thing that will become that a guild hall, a farmer's guild hall. So yes, we can now, the way we set up a guild hall is we mark, we say new meeting area there, accept new location, guild hall, and we should probably accept the petition before we do this, because then it'll be easier to find. New location, new guild hall. Farmers. Called apparently the Scaly Lake. We need to improve it a bit more. But like we haven't finished putting the floor in yet. We'll probably need some more furniture than just the floor, but we'll see. Then we're going, once that is built, then we can try to tunnel into that. It looks like we've already run out of tiger tallow. What is our soap situation now? Got 38 tiger soap. And yes, 0 tiger tallow left over. I think we could unforbid the leopard tallow. I'm sure leopards are considered reasonably good animals. Ah, someone is turning up to tidy away some of the rocks dropped by the catapult. Not really dropped. Right, on the subject of the catapult, we can probably do another bit of re-walling.
Reduce, reuse, recycle, bring them back, throw at enemies again.
Yes, yes, absolutely. They get reused. Let's just construct a bit of iron reinforced wall there. So we built slightly more porcelain bricks. Okay, a bunch of dwarves have now gone to sleep having finished building this thing, because apparently it was so much hard work that they can't go home. So let's see, following the suggestion of doing this from the moat, we would want to mine down to there. Then to maximise distance per unit time spent mining, we dig a very narrow tunnel. Oops. Let's unpause for a bit while I do this. Where are we heading for? Yes, we're going in more or less the right direction. Going to sleep outdoors is a particularly terrible thing from the point of view of saving you from elves.
Maybe you shouldn't have people going on much alone if they're a long way away. Maybe you should send at least 2 of them so they can spell each other.
Oops, that wasn't what I meant. Just obliterated the staircase. There. Diagonal lines are also good for exposing a lot of rock per unit mining done. So if you want to find like gem clusters and so forth, they're an excellent way to go about things. Right, so that will eventually be a useful tunnel. How's that Guildhall doing in terms of value? Still only at 1600. Mere porcelain floors are not going to be sufficient, are they? We're going to have to install some like ludicrous throne in there or something. Happily, we have a supply of ludicrous thrones and tables and things. Let's have a look through our furniture stocks and see if there's anything adequately ludicrous. If we want a value of ideally 6,000 out of one item of furniture. Probably asking a bit much of one item of furniture. I mean, I suppose only ideally a little under 5,000, but still. Yeah, that's a coffer with 2100. We'll put that one in. So it's equals decorated equals microcline coffer. Let's see if we can find that on the list. Sorry, BF. So that will boost the value of the room quite a lot. Oh, we found some kaolinite down there. That's nice. Not really where we want it though. And some limonite. But again, the very edge of the limonite, and I don't really want to extend tunnels towards the fortress. There's a kind of deliberately untunneled zone there. It's probably okay to mine the gems though. Okay, right, now what's the soap situation? So we now have 13 leopard soap and 38 tiger soap. I'm going to claim that's enough soap and cancel any remaining soap jobs.
You have sufficient saponification.
At least until we get some more good tallow.
Good tallow is hard to find.
Well, I mean, we need more tigers for the purpose. Or similar animals.
What large ones that are lying around usefully dead? Nearby.
They want a temple, right? I'm going to carry on with my... I'm going to declare that this room that I've conveniently built is going to be that temple. And then I'm going to go, right, I should agree to that. Doctrine of skies. again, we have to get it up to a value of 6,000. I mean, like, it won't help very much, but we should smooth all the walls anyway. Hang on, no, I want it in that mode, don't I? So how's the value of that doing now? 3,800, right, we're over halfway to it being an adequate guild hall. That will get me another 1,000. That's that one. Don't have quite enough bricks. Oh, yes, we do. We only need 4. No, that's a wall. That will not help. So yes, it now has a value of 1,000, the shrine, simply by virtue of having an excellent door. This shale door encrusted with 17 different kinds of gem. Right, so there is now a connection between the moat and this outer thing. We should therefore put a hatch cover there in order to make it slightly harder to get in. Right, the watchtower is not very helpful at the moment, or rather the bunker is not very helpful at the moment because you can't see out of it. Possibly we should give it a little moat for anti-archer purposes, given it will be it's mostly intended to be useful against elves. We've swept up the gems. I think we need more ability to make highly valuable objects. So I think I'm going to send that giant mole skeleton. Is that of any value, I wonder? And what have I just done? Oh, I think my laptop is slowly seizing up as a result of all of my memory vanishing. Let's just check how bad it is. It's not very bad yet. Yes. But yes, I was going to go, let's find some more valuable gems down here. And send out some targeted mining expeditions. Try to grab them without wasting too much time on less valuable gems. So I think we do have like a few more of, yes, that kind of thing. Bituminous coal is not a highly valuable gem, but rubies are definitely worth having, as are sapphires. And like, we'll have the bituminous coal while we're there. Oh yes, there's another cluster. Yes, Dizzyet points out that that we're getting close to the kind of time when another siege might happen. Slightly worried by a message that just says somebody is fighting, but I think that again is we're looking at this message after the person who was involved has been unloaded because they're apparently not going to become a historical figure. Oh, are we really out of iron? Or are they? No, we've got plenty of iron bars, just people aren't stockpiling them properly. So now we have a quantity of dull, undecorated tables here waiting for some nice gems. So where did I find the gems? There they are. Just going to watch this in case anything exciting happens. Other than like producing gems, which is mostly what we hope for. We actually have the ability to get up there. Oh, maybe we don't. No, there's a floor all the way around there, isn't there? Yes. That upward ramp should be achievable. slightly uncertain why no one's digging that. It's definitely reachable, like there's just a load of ordinary floor tiles around to it.
We think also they can be forcibly prevented from digging a hole.
Yes.
Digging a hole.
So it's now summer. We don't quite know what the consequences of this will be and whether anyone's going to come and annoy us. It used to be that there was like a fixed time in the season when, if there was going to be an attack, the attack would come, but I don't think that's the case anymore. Right, so now we can check how we're doing for the value of our guild hall. That's close to being good enough just from smoothing the wall. Well, let's see if we've got a few more porcelain bricks we can use to finish it off. No, we've only got 2. We need more. How are we off for kaolinite? Are we? The kaolinite stockpile is empty. Is there a task? Yeah, someone is actually going to fetch more kaolinite. Okay. Probably don't actually need to start mining it again just yet. All right, someone is going to come and mine into this slightly unsettling, unusual volcanic wall. And then all being well, they'll mine the rest of that. Right, yes. So that's a decent quantity of rather nice gems, which can be used to produce some rather nice furniture, which we can use for decorating the new guild hall, etc. At least some of the dwarves are accessing the new bunker from inside, so that's nice. I think I'm going to establish a bolt thrower in there. Default direction north, yes, that seems good. Okay, we don't actually have enough bins. That's a bit embarrassing. I should just see what we have by way of spare metal that doesn't, that like non-weapons grade metal. Still got a decent amount of billen. possibly what we could try doing is taking one member of, say, the crystalline drums and just telling them to station in the centre of the new bunker and seeing what they do. So I think at the moment this is an experiment, and yes, I would have to relieve them. They will move out eventually, but I would have to do some manual relief. But I think I could actually set a squad to be like, one of you should be stationed. Oh, I think I might actually be able to station a squad with one in each of a bunch of separate bunkers, because I think I could do like a, obviously this, but if I added a column, I could then how would I do this then? I could say one of you should be there and one of you should be, say, there once we've added a new bunker there, and so forth. So if stationing in one of these does work, I think that could then be done. But I want to see if assigning one dwarf to be stationed in there is actually going to work. So it's Minkot, the mace dwarf, who is currently assigned to it. What are they actually doing? They're asleep at the moment. Okay. Actually, while we're here, we should also stick a floor hatch in there. Because I'm sure that will be useful at some point. Do I have enough siege operators? Good question. We currently have 4 people assigned to siege operating, which I think is enough, given we really only want to operate 2 siege engines. Oh yes, yes, we don't have the game log in place, do we? Let's fix that. There you go. Maybe not. How about that? I should be watching it as well, really, so I should faff around in another window. So that we'll see if that stationing works, and if it does, then I'll try to do something a bit cleverer, at least eventually. Right, how have we got enough bricks to build that yet? Yes. We could also build one porcelain bricks floor there, couldn't we? Actually, two. Oh, you stupid Ben. No, that is not where I wanted you to be stationed. See, this is a slight danger with station orders. Since it merely means be somewhere near where you were asked to be. So maybe we're going to need to dig a moat just to discourage the dwarves from standing around outside. A human caravan has arrived. Well, that's not dangerous. They've arrived over the hills, more or less. I also haven't set my mouse pointer size, which will be making it hard for anyone to see what I'm doing. I can fix that. I think I was mostly distracted by trying to get the sound working, and I still don't understand what went wrong there. That's better. So yes, we should get some stuff to the trade depot. Oh yes, yes. If we're short of billen, I should maybe make those bins out of something else. Wooden mail shirts. Yeah, those are not very useful. We'll sell them.
That feels very much in the case of the category if you can try it if you like, but you'd be a giant otter.
Yes.
Elves, I suspect. Elves use wooden swords. Perhaps they use wooden chainmail as well, because that's...
Surely you're better off with wooden lamella mail, though.
Yes.
It makes
Well,
sense.
they only say mail. They don't specify quite how it works.
Okay, I mean, okay, let's assume it's lamella, which actually makes some sense.
No, I think I want to assume that the elves made their lives difficult and pointless for every possible reason, because that seems how these elves are.
Discarding a lot of things here that are very worn, probably because someone, or the wrong size, probably because someone has hacked up the human who arrived wearing it, or elf who arrived wearing it. That one's large as well. Those three are large. So is that. Mostly, I think, actually going to try to deal with this by just selling selling the armour that the last round of elves turned up in, or rather the clothes that the last round of elves turned up in. Try to sell those as a pair. Those are quite badly worn as well. Those won't fit dwarves, neither will those. No sensible person wears wooden shoes.
Clogs?
Well, maybe.
Not unheard of. Don't give it a steel-toe cap boots from the age before steel.
We have steel.
Still cheaper than steel. You don't have to spend about a week with a smelter.
Do hope they've got something we want to buy after all this. Well, that's starting to lag annoyingly. One day I will have the enthusiasm to work out what is being leaked somewhere inside X-Wayland. Socks, of course, are, I don't know that they're a purely dwarven phenomenon, but the elves don't seem to bother with them. Right, that's that done. Iron gauntlets are not, I can fold them up like this, can't I? Yes. Interesting. Do not want wooden gauntlets.
Why have you got them? Where do they come from? Did you collect them off elf corpses? Or?
Yes, yes, the elves leave them behind when they die. Because they're not going to turn up. Troll fur is generally left by goblins. expect beak dog leather is from them as well. Lots of large gloves here. Oops, those aren't large. So few that are worth keeping there that I've gone for just selecting the whole lot and then deselecting the ones that might be worth having. In general, if we're looking at a material that elves use, then a lot of the stuff they've brought will not be worth having. See, the problem with the way the elves throw so many people at you is you do end up with an awful lot of stuff to get rid of. Right, headwear. Coffee wood helmet. Wooden hats are not going to save you. This is mostly selecting the very worn out trousers because they did bring some trousers with them, the elves, and rather the humans that came with the elves. Oops, that was probably the wrong button. Not that it really matters, except that I don't know where I am now. Right, so that seems like something you might want actually, but not that. Right, that was, I think, all of the kinds of clothes. Let's see if that's enough. Oh, our mace dwarf is now in the right location. Excellent. Dizzy has noted we've got a couple of dangerous terrain messages. Oh, a gremlin and some kittens. That gremlin is not a problem down there. It will be scared off by the dogs. We don't even need to release the hounds. The mere fact of the hounds existing was enough to send it away again. All right, the dwarves are now frantically bringing unwanted clothing to the Yeah, I think one of the reasons people are being confused by the one-way dwarf valve, which incidentally I've noticed there's a bunch of stuff here that needs deforbidding, is that there's a lot of stuff right next to it that can be picked up. And so I think a lot of people are picking things up from right next to it, which sets it off. Though we did have a thought that it might be, and possibly when it gets very crowded, people think of it as a possible diversionary route. Yes, I think we might want to mine a bit more tetrahedrite if we can find some that looks safe. I mean, I was only building the bins out of Billen because we had Billen, but... Oh, well, that was stupid of you, Ben. Obviously, if I'm going to have a moat, I need to ensure that the tunnel that goes into the bunker goes under the moat, not through the moat. Let's just fix that. And then let's make sure there isn't a ramp on the bunker side of this moat. Yes, I am slightly concerned that we might actually want to put reinforced walls all the way around that staircase. But, as you say, this is not the main fortress. Right, how are we off for available bricks? None. That's fairly dull. I want to... Okay, how are we off for stupidly good furniture? Actually, we probably don't need the... probably only need slightly good furniture for the guild hall. Which is the one that was slightly good. gypsum. No. Let's see if that's enough to bring that Guildhall up to standard. I mean, the main reason why I'm putting a moat around this thing is so that so that it's harder for the person who is stationed in it to stand outside it. So I think what I actually want in this place is archers of some sort, or rather Marks Dwarves. And we do have a squad that's notionally Marks Dwarves, which is the one that should contain, but I think probably doesn't, our all of our siege operators. Yes, we were missing a siege operator. But of course, if we're going to have a noticeable quantity of them intending to be acting as Marks Dwarves, then we're going to want more. Because there is some skills commonality between siege operator and Marks Dwarf. How are we doing at bringing stuff into the... We're only waiting for one item. Let's get the broker in here. Right. Is there anything we actually want? Or is it going to turn out that we don't actually care about any of this stuff? No, we don't want a peach-faced lovebird. We don't really want a reindeer. The barrels don't seem to contain anything good even.
Is my toothbrush like to be charged?
I've not started yet. I do mine this morning. I think I'll do it later.
Is it going to turn out we're just going to say, look, just take all this stuff so that we don't have to keep it here? I mean, I would take your food, but like we have plenty. You don't even seem to have brought any cheese. Oh no, there's some cheese. We'll have all your cheese. Does it suggest we could just buy bins? It's true. I mean, I'm not sure I want a bolt thrower now. I'm beginning to think that we want Marks Dwarves in there. I mean, we can buy a bunch of bins that just happen to come full of cloth. We'll get a couple of empty barrels. Because I don't think we really need all this cloth, so I don't know. We'll have some chests. Like, we may as well, I suppose we may as well buy anything that we would otherwise make, on the grounds that this is cheaper. In that we're just giving away things we don't want anyway. In that I'm tempted to let them take all of the stuff just to get it out of our inventory. Get a reputation as somewhere where you can sell anything for stupid prices. I mean, I'm actually slightly tempted to buy some fish just because we don't do fish here. So if there are people who like fish, it might make them happier. Oh, I can just hit mark all, right. Yeah, let's get all the weapons actually on the grounds that if nothing else we can now that I've decided, look, you're just getting all the stuff we've got, whatever. I'll buy anything that might be even slightly helpful. So I'll include most of the weapons and we'll just stuff them in weapon traps. Right. That's still a stupid profit, but that way we don't have nearly so much useless stuff lying around. We still have some useless stuff lying around, but less. Some migrants have arrived despite the danger. Let's make the place look a little bit less dangerous by removing these skeletons from around the pond.
I was about to ask, is that a new message? Unusual.
Well, I mean, the last fortress tended not to get any migrants owing to weird problems involving
Yes, I remember.
cages.
I mean, despite the danger, is not a thing I remember seeing.
I think it's been around for a while, just we haven't had quite such a dangerous fortress for a while.
I mean, I don't remember that message came up when migrants arrived in the middle of a siege and all got killed.
Well, now they know it's dangerous.
Ah, yes.
It wasn't obviously dangerous before. I suppose I should see what their skills are, if any. We have someone who's an accomplished bone carver. I mean, that might be useful. A novice armour smith, that's not much use. A competent weaponsmith, but like we have several legendary. A High Master Animal Trainer, that's not a thing we actually do much of in this fortress. That appears to be it. Right, so that's almost finished. And just for symmetry, we should have a ramp there. Made out of church blocks, so it's the correct colour. Right, so station orders do seem to more or less work in that location. So I think what I should do now is give the syrups of starting. Actually, I should just adjust the ready order so that for the syrups of starting, so that it says one dwarf should be sleeping in their room at should be with sleeping in their room at will. I don't know if that applies for everything. Stationed in that location. So, right, let's have a look at that guild hall. Right, so that guild hall was adequately established and is big enough. Now we need to work more on this temple. We are busy improving things. We do have a stupidly valuable bed, which would actually do the job, wouldn't it? Yeah, go on. Guildhall agreement with the Company of Ravens has been satisfied. Similarly, we've dealt with that. By just putting a stupidly good bed in the temple. Let's construct an additional weapon trap down here. We probably have at least some. I think anything on less than iron is probably not worth you trying to use for ourselves. I think I may have somehow not done that one. Let's try again. I mean, actually, warhammers are all right, even in blunt, even in not very hard metals, for fairly obvious reasons. That's better. So I suppose I should notice that the fairly ludicrous furniture is not going to be in a stockpile. It's going to be in a workshop. I've just spotted that my computer is about to run out of swap, so I'm going to do the silly dance of save and then reload in order to fix this. So this will take a short while. We don't seem to have a siege yet, which is nice. So we can carry on trying to organise people. We might want to train up a few more Marksdwarves come come siege operators, and that will then help with being able to populate the bunker, and also check, yes, Top thinks life is a lot better now, and also still have someone staffing the siege engines. Oh, we can release the other dwarf from there, though I'm slightly concerned the way that none of the syrups of starting appear to actually be doing that yet.
Not self-starting.
No. Like 3 of them are not currently in, possibly 2 of them are not currently in military mode. Oh, apparently Rith Thingamy is... Oh, right, no, there they are. Right, I think, yes. That is actually the person who's meant to be there. But it turns out their best military skill is Mace Dwarf. Because Archer technically doesn't qualify. So we should try to improve their ability to wield like useful weapons. Maybe by giving them some practice. Right, apparently we have a mysterious construction underway. Is it in the usual place?
Already?
No.
No, you just withdrew from society.
Yes. Apparently so. They do appear to be only using some billen bars and some porcelain bricks. They are a dabbling weaponsmith, which I think might be enough that they end up making a weapon. But I'm not sure. think I've cleared all of the near surface tetrahedrite. Not quite. Let's allow that to be mined. Oh, it's a forgotten beast. I think it's a fairly soft forgotten beast. Forgotten beast Quothest Theratelsimo Corumazli Ost has come. Presumably not to be confused with Quothest Theratelsimo Corumazli Vest. An enormous blob composed of vomit. It has 3 short tails and it squirms and fidgets. Beware its webs. Probably you can kill it by looking at it wrong, though.
It seems to be mostly composed of name.
Yes. Well, let's suggest that the lower siege engines might want to be in use. Pink Beast observes that it might be soft, but it does sound quite disgusting. Yes, yes. I mean, it might just defeat the dwarves by virtue of causing them to go "Ugh," and run away from it. I mean, I suppose we could close the outer door of the fortress to be on the safe side. I just kind of find it hard to be scared of it. There it is. A weaponsmith guild has been established. Ah, the priesthood of the doctrine of skies is ready to be recognised. Right, do I need to do that? Do I need to, like... it's just a big button that says recognise priesthood. Right. And then we can appoint someone as the holy flyer of the doctrine of skies. Maybe not now. Where is the ooze? It's wandering off. Well, that's fine. It'll probably meet one of the other denizens of the caverns in due course. Does that mean we've successfully closed the lower gates? Yes. Possibly once someone's standing at those siege engines and not, for instance, sleeping or practicing with the wrong bolt thrower. Actually, we could fix that at least, couldn't we? Practice bolt thrower out of service. But it does tend to take a while for them to Okay, yes, you decide, well, if I'm not required to be doing anything with that bolt thrower, I'm going to go and get a drink, which, like, I can quite understand. Maybe we need more siege operators because all the current ones are asleep. Apart from one who is meant to be stationed here but seems to have got distracted. That might be a reason to have slightly more than one of them there. But I think if we're going to do that, we also need more, and we need them to actually get good with a crossbow. So, can we just mark that area as also being part of a barracks, and then they'll... if we set a barracks there... Was there another type that's like archery range or something? Yes. If we set that as an archery range, firing eastwards to be used for training by the syrups of starting. And add to the regime of the syrups of starting that one of them at any given time should be training. See what that does. No, you've made an artifact Billen crossbow. Okay. This is a Billen crossbow. All craft ship is of the highest quality. It is encircled with bands of Billen. This object menaces with spikes of porcelain. Oh yes, of course, I should remember putting artifacts on pedestals is an excellent way to increase the value of runes. There was a thing I was about to do and I forgot what it was. Oh well. Oh yes, it was to add that newly legendarified weaponsmith to our collection of legendary weaponsmiths. You're not meant to actually stab yourself with the spikes on the crossbow. They're only there for menacing purposes. Also, they appear to be a disaster as far as their equipment is concerned. Like, none of them actually has a crossbow. I think we need to make more armour. Don't know if we've got enough steel for that, but if we start on it, it'll probably help. Where's the disgusting forgotten beast got to anyway? Doesn't seem to be doing anything interesting yet. Oh, there's someone staffing one of the lower crossbows though, so I think bolt throwers rather. So I think I'm now willing to open the lower Barbican outer bridge. Should be set to fire at enemies, yes. Set to F. So hopefully this will just shred the forgotten beast. Of course, puppies immediately start escaping. I mean, we shouldn't have puppies there, but for some reason there are puppies. We still seem to have a caged war tiger for some reason. That seems to be heading for our entrance now. I mean, all being well, the puppies will just run away from this weird thing which can't move very fast. Or possibly taunt it. Right, that didn't take much killing, did it? Two crossbow bolts. And it appears to have been destroyed. Let's ask for its disgusting corpse to be disposed of. It'll take a while, but someone will get it up to the rubbish dump eventually. I mean, maybe I was a little too cautious. Probably the puppies would not have had any difficulty. What am I doing? Yes. And give ourselves access to the caverns again. What now? The Company of Clouts wants a weaponsmith's guild. Okay, well, let's carry on mining this away. No. No. I can't hit the right place. There.
I'll do this while I'm passing.
What? Oh, I'm in the wrong mining mode as well. I'm going to wait until that mining is actually done before I respond to the petition. Apparently someone recently cancelled a job owing to being dismayed, which is a bit worrying, but we'll see if it happens again. I think that was a shift change. One person in a squad changed state in each direction. So that's probably good. We need more steel, but I hope the steel making will now start. Oh, you want me to make something, do you? You want picks, okay. We might be making too many iron bars. I should work out why we're making so many iron bars. I mean, I think now in Dwarf Fortress it is actually worth making high quality picks, because I think you can dig faster with them. I think it was 2 they wanted, wasn't it? Yes. Yes, thank you. Please call again. on, no. You now want a temple complex and a high priest for the thing. Okay, well, we'll do that in a bit. First, we need to establish this weaponsmith guild hall. So that one needs to be upgraded to a temple complex with stupidly high value. Well, we can at least stick a bit more porcelain on the floor. Random artifact Draltha bone animal trap, anyone? Let's make ourselves a quantity of pedestals for putting things on. Also, yes, we should recruit a couple more siege operators, shouldn't we? Just wondering if I can work out who of our peasants would make a good siege operator. And Marksdwarf, indeed. Probably all right. Ingiz rather, might be okay. Actually, we can, if we find someone we like, we can then go labour, put them into siege operators. Right. That was the thing down here that I was going to do, and I forgot what it was. Let's just confirm that steel production should be underway. So where are the steel bars then, eh? Are they just stuck inside? Okay. Oh right, the metalsmith's forge doesn't appear has a stockpile it takes coal from, but no stockpiles that it takes like metal from. That's going to be a bit of a problem. let us dig a little bit further into this wall, and then we can probably improve that. So, oh yes, someone wanted a guild hall. No, that's someone wanting a new temple. Yes, a temple upgrade rather. The Flyer of Warriors, what a strange name. That's our not very good meeting place that will eventually become a guild hall. Is that not actually a spectacularly valuable door? No, it isn't. What a pity. Actually, no, let's explicitly make that one, which is not yet in use, a lower priority. Let us install our masterwork bauxite pedestal, and then we will pick some things to put on it once we have worked out what kind of religion we're dealing with here. So it's doctrine of skies. How do I find out about the nature of a religion? I have no idea. Find one of its adherents, maybe? It tells me that the doctrine of skies is a religion. Oh well, we will stick an arbitrary item on it. So yes, one of the treasures of the Thingamy fortification is a perfect milk quartz called Ner Atir. So let's put that on the on that pedestal and see if that what that does for our value. So at the moment, the value of the what is now an unnamed museum is 8,000. That doesn't work. Right, so now I think what I want to do is to make some small stockpiles down here for metals I usually use. Yes, happily. What I've been doing, Dizzy points out, the wiki says, if a group of dwarves file a petition for a deity-specific temple, it's a good idea to write down the petitioner's request for the specific deity and or religious sect, as it is often not accessible from the UI after you accept the petition. This kind of thing is part of why I have been deliberately not accepting the petition until I can immediately grant it. Or at least immediately set up the temple. So what am I doing? Yes, I am setting this up as a steel bar stockpile. And then we can set this to take from each of those. And we should also set our main smelter, which may or may not be that one. Yes, which is that one, to take from those for the purpose of being able to make steel from, well, actually it doesn't need to take from the steel stockpile, does it? But it might need to be able to take iron in order to make steel. So adding that artifact on that pedestal has helped a bit, but we could probably do with more. I feel that this artifact animal trap is probably not useful for much either, Udar Nakuth. So I think we can stick that on there as well. How much is the actual pedestal worth, I wonder? Not much, even though it is masterful. Now what's the value of our temple? Getting close. Let's accept the petition. Because, like, we already have the thing, we just need to make it better. We still only have 2 porcelain bricks available. Making porcelain bricks does use an awful lot of kaolinite. Right, the merchants are leaving. So my hope is that now we won't get job cancellation spam for most of the metalworking tasks. So I kind of feel that these two being mugs should stay in our mug stockpile, and most of these are weapons. These ones are weapons and should probably be used as weapons. unless they're particularly stupid. Bill and short sword is only slightly stupid. Ditto bill and crossbow. The copper mace is positively sensible. And I don't know if we can do silly things with heirlooms. So I think we probably need more furniture in this temple if we're going to get it up to an adequate value. Oh, there's a shale table, masterfully decorated, that's worth quite a lot. Oh, and exceptionally decorated shale table, a masterfully decorated exceptional limestone table. So that will improve the state of that room a little more. We may as well actually smooth the remainder of the floor. It's not a lot, but it's something. Getting better, 22,000. That one has a long way to go. We're going to need some more furniture, which means we're going to need some more nice gems too. Let's have a quick look around and see if we can find any more of those. Amethysts are actually worth having. We should do that at a higher priority. I think while we're down here, if we're going to have miners mucking around down here, they may as well collect up any other semi-precious stones that are in the area. mining gems does not take long. Though yes, it is getting latish, so I will probably stop fairly soon. Let's just get this bit of mining done, not least because it's going to reveal some more of the caverns, which should be exciting. Like that. Right, that's the edge of the map. We can't go exploring any further that way. Semi-precious stones may not be worth very much individually when applied to an item, but you can get a lot of different varieties of them. Which can make it worthwhile. Yes, yes. It's that same dwarven child who was depressed earlier, who's now stumbling around obliviously. She's not happy. But I don't really know what to do about this, especially in a child. Right, I think that's enough gem mining for now. Because we're now getting lots of people coming down here to collect the gems, including 15 zillion puppies. Oh, a Minotaur has turned up. Right. Well, I think that's the point at which to pause then. And we will come back and work out how to fight off a Minotaur on Friday, I expect. So, yes, save now, and until Friday, I will say good night. Good night.